So what's it like to be battered by a storm? We have Storm Darragh here in the UK, and it's a pretty brutal one as far as the UK is concerned. So we're going to find out what it feels like, find out the emotions of running through a storm. Keep on watching, keep on listening. Hope you find it useful. Welcome back to consecutive day 1652 of a diary of a runpreneur. And today's topic is all about running through, or what it feels like to be running in a storm here in the UK. But please, first off, please remember this part of the fundraiser to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, distance of lap of the world, barefoot style. So do give it a subscribe, share, like and comment. As the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise, more children's lives we save. That's why I do it every day. So back to the topic at hand. So we're running through a storm. What does it feel like? Well, to be quite frank, it feels like a battle. It feels like you're kind of fighting or sparring or dueling with somebody. I don't know whether the camera and the microphone will do this justice, but this is currently winds of over 30 miles an hour, over 30 miles an hour, with gusts between 45 and 50 miles an hour. So although the constant, I'm getting absolutely battered, you get the odd gust which almost takes your breath away. Added to the fact it's pretty torrential. It's actually slowed down a little bit on the rain, but it's constant. It's constant in terms of rainfall, and the winds is just driving this cold spray into my face. Fortunately, I've just turned around because the left side of my face is completely numb. I'm now getting it driven across to me from, as you look at the camera, it will be from your left to right as I'm running my right to left. And it's pretty grim, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty grim, and the temperature feels like about 2 degrees. So with this driving wind and rain that's hitting me, my whole body is just so cold. My body temperature can't get up because the moisture and the rainfall is seeping into my clothing, even though my clothing is incredibly suitable for running in winter conditions, in wet conditions. This wind is it's like it's freezing the rain as it's driving to hit me. And then once it's on my clothing, before my clothing has a chance to kind of wick that moisture away to try and keep my body temperature stable, it's such a cold experience. It's bringing my body temperature right down. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm already starting to slur my words a little bit, which is a perfect indication of my face starting to numb. It gets worse the longer it goes on for. And yeah, it's horrible. You're just battling with the conditions. I've got a little bit of respite here because there's some bush cover here, so the winds are driving into the bush before they hit me. But yeah, it's really tough, really tough. But you know what? Despite it being tough, I actually quite enjoy the challenge. And I've always been one to kind of try and see the positive or proactive side of things. And this is just a problem. Running out in a storm is a problem that I have to solve. I have to run. So, and when you have days like today where there's no potentially good windows of opportunity to run, it's just grim weather throughout the whole day, you just have to accept that, and you have to go out and conquer that challenge. And it feels quite nice as well from a degree, from one perspective, because I've been running for 1652 consecutive days straight now. Sometimes you get extreme circumstances or environments to run within. It breaks up the monotony of what you do every single day. If in the winter months, for example, typical UK winter months, it's cold, yes, it can be damp. You can usually swerve the rainfall, certainly in the southeast where I'm from, a little bit more difficult up in the north, but you can swerve the rainfall on most occasions, but it's just this kind of dull, grey, almost depressing types of conditions to run in every single day. And when you get something a little bit outside the norm, it makes what would be a normal monotonous run into something like a new challenge. It's like a new experience. It makes that same road that I may have pounded down. I must have pounded down this road, for example. I must have pounded down this one 1,000 days. You know, my total streak is 1,652. This is one of the most common routes I do, because for whatever reason, it seems to be the route where the wind seems to cut across it more often than not, which allows it to be a sideways out and back wind route, which is why I use it quite often. You know, it makes this route a little bit more interesting, as crazy as it sounds. So yeah, every cloud has a silver lining. So I think the learnings from my diary today are, what does it feel like to run through a storm here in the UK? And the storm we're talking about is Storm Darragh. It's December 2024, and it's been a brutal one for us here. You may not see it now because I'm running between some thick bushline on both sides, so I'm a little bit sheltered from this small window, but they're 30-mile-an-hour winds with gusts between 45 and 50 mile an hour, which is extreme for the UK, hugely. It's been constantly raining all day, although it's just started to, still raining, but at a slightly slower pace. But with the wind, it still feels, it drives into you and makes it incredibly cold. Yeah, the emotions of running through circumstances like this is, you know, if you don't have to run in them, don't, because it's not particularly enjoyable. If I was given a choice, I would choose not to run in it. It's a battle. It feels like you're fighting. It feels like you're sparring or dueling with the weather conditions, and inevitably there's usually only one outcome. The weather's always going to come out on top. You almost have to survive it. That's your kind of challenge. It's difficult, especially in the winter months in these experiences, because the temperature is so cold, and your body, although you can wear the right technical clothing to try and maintain body temperature, when you have driving winds with precipitation, with it feels like temperature close to freezing, it's like it's freezing the precipitation before it hits you, and it just drops your temperature, your body temperature, really quickly before your technical clothing can wick it away and try and maintain your body temperature. So that's what I find it quite difficult. Your face, any kind of skin exposed, it's going to get the brunt of it, and you're going to get numbness. If you're speaking, you're going to slur. It's it's a real challenge. But on the flip side, it's sometimes it creates a break up in the monotony of running. Now, if you're running in the winter, you'll be well accustomed to running in gloomy, miserable, wet, cold, kind of days. You'll be well accustomed to that. Perhaps not the craziness of the winds and the coldness that the wind speeds can bring, but you're well accustomed to it. And if you do similar routes, like inevitably you will be doing, because unless you travel around and you get the ability to run in new places all the time, you're going to have your staple routes that you're going to be doing on a regular basis. And to the flip side of that is it creates a different environment to run in. It can make the same route that you may have run hundreds or even thousands of times seem completely different. And for that I'm grateful. I quite enjoy the new challenge of the new of a different type of running experience. I go back to one of my favourite ever runs was a run in Singapore, and it was monsoon season, and I've never known rain like it. It was as heavy and as powerful as a power shower, but it was hot because it was so humid. And although I don't do that run very often, clearly because I don't live in Singapore, I'll always remember it because it just created such a different experience. Just trying to get past this car. It was such a different experience, and like maybe I'll draw back on this horribly miserable run today in the same kind of way in the future. But anyway, that's it from me. Questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Do that. Remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of lap of the world, barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, and more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you again tomorrow.